Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade at Hudson's, and today I thought I would show you how I clean my stamps. So after embarrassing myself using this stamp because I'd forgotten to clean it, I thought I would show you the different ways that I clean them. So there are two types of stamps that Stampin' Up sell. One is Photopolymer, which is clear, and I use something different to clean those to the cling. So the cling is the red rubber stamps, and this is one of my favourite happy birthday sets, and I often forget to clean sentiments as happened on this one. So how do I clean photopolymers? So the way I clean photopolymer is using two things. The first thing I use is water-based stamp cleaner by Ranger, which is spray on, and the second thing I use is a Shammy. So this is I think it's a Simply Shammy. So I have two. This one got eaten by the dog, not very clever. This one I use for general colours, and this one I use if I am using memento on my stamp. So what you would do is you would take your stamp. As you can see, mine have been discoloured from using reds on them. You would add it to your block as you would normally. Then I would ink it up. So let's go for memento. You would ink it up. You would stamp. Then normally what I would do is I'd make sure that I'd get off as much excess as possible. I'd spray it with my cleaner and then rub it onto my chamois, and then when you stamp it, there's no residue on there whatsoever. And then what I would normally do is put that back away and get rid of the excess spray on my chamois. So then you've got a clean block and a clean photopolymer stamp. So let's put this away. So what else do I have in my cleaning kit? Well, you may ask. So that works on those, and if you find that you have a stubborn stain, so if I bring in my snowman, I still have bits of black around the outside of my snowman, even though I have just cleaned him. So what you would do is you would take a toothbrush and gently brush in the parts that have the black in, and that should get rid of the stubborn stains. And you can add the cleaner, you can add water, and that should get rid of the stubborn stains. Now what happens if your stamp will no longer stick to your block? So some of them, sometimes if you've been touching them, or if you've got a unclean block, which I tend to have because I tend to drop them all over the place, then what will happen is that the stamp won't stick to your block properly. So how do I solve that? So to solve that, I take all my stamps, I take a bowl of warm water, and I throw all my stamps into the bowl of water. So see, my Merry Christmas isn't stamping. So you just throw them into your bowl of water. Whoop. She says I'm pinging them everywhere. And then what you do is add two things of stamping water, do a bit of swirling, and then I tend to leave for a few hours or overnight depending on when I'm crafting. So if I'm crafting in the evening, I will leave them overnight, and I will just put that one to one side so that I remember to take these out, and I'll put a note to myself because I'm notorious for forgetting. So that is photopolymer. So for cling stamps, I use this. So this is a stamping scrub, and it's got a wet side and a dry side. And I also use stamping mist. So at the start of my stamp session, I will use some mist, and I will also add some water using a stamping mist or just a spray bottle. And then what you would do is you would take whichever stamp you wanted to add. So let's add the birthday. Ooh, I'm throwing it around the room. You would put it in a block and then just simply clean. I should have chosen a better stamp than that, by scrubbing on the stamping scrub. Now there is a type of ink that I will not use stamping scrub for, and that is if I am using Stazon. So let's take this out. So Stazon is a pain. So this is used for if you are watercolouring, whereas Memento is used for if you are using blends. So it stays on your stamps, as the name would suggest, and it can be quite sticky as well. So to clean off Stazon, I use two things. I use the Stazon cleaner, and I have an individual rub it scrub it, which by Ranger, which is essentially one side of the stamping scrub. It's just the rough side, and that will get rid of my Stazon. And again, I have another toothbrush which I have an S on to clean off the Stazon. So it tends to be a combination. One size doesn't necessarily fit all. I think some people will just use a chamois for everything, and you can do that if you want to. As I said, I've got two chamois, and then I've also got a lawn form chamois. So I have a green one which lives in a little pot by the side of my crafting space, and this actually comes from America, and I think Alexandra from the Hedgehog Hollow recommends that. So lots of different things, but a lot of people just use simply chamois. So if you've got any questions, you can contact me, Claire at handmade@hudsons.co.uk. Everything that's available from Stampin' Up will be linked in below. And I'll also put down what I use that isn't Stampin' Up. So thank you very much for pressing play on the video today. I hope that this has helped you to understand the different cleaners that I use and what I use them for, either photopolymer or cling. Thanks for pressing play. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please click below to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you know whenever I release a video. Thank you. Bye.